Good morning. Well, we're welcome to May. This is episode 4 of my attempt at Krustoo Farms Homestead Challenge. So, I didn't go into deficit last night. Let's have a look, see around the farm here to see where we stand here to start the day off. We got a few eggs. Okay, and one of each pallet out of the greenhouse. How much water's left in here? 9. So it takes about 3,000 liters overnight. But since I've got all my required production here for the day, I'm going to switch my output to all lettuce. There we go. Let's take a look at these fields. They weren't showing any signs of weed yesterday, but yeah, no signs of weeds, huh? And the oilseed ranches are ready to be tilled in. Wheat, alright, we got small weeds here in the oats. And grass is ready to harvest. Alright. It's ready to harvest, but I'm not ready for it. Oh, that trailer might be useful eventually since I have a semi to pull it. Of course, I don't have the plates and insurance. Well, I guess the plates are technically still valid, but the insurance isn't. And sooner or later, the Secretary of State's office, and usually relatively quickly, will find out that the insurance has been canceled and they'll cancel the plates too. But since I'm only using my old truck as a home right now, it's hard to justify. Alright, sorry about that. A piece of phlegm just suddenly broke loose on me while I was talking. Anyway, as I was saying, it's hard to justify the expense of keeping a commercial vehicle insurance policy up and running. Oh, left the hood open on my tractor after I checked the oil this morning. I go to the shop and pick up my weeder and get the oats weeded before they get bigger. And then I think I'm going to look at doing some contracts for the rest of the day. Looks like we got rain coming in again. Hopefully, since the oats are in their first growth stage, I'll be able to drive across them without tearing up the crop. I'll give it a quick test before I go too far in. And if it does start to tear up the crop, I'll have to do a contract first and then put on narrow tires, then come back and do the weeding. So, let's give it a try. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm also going to need some hay equipment ASAP. Yeah, in game you can get 4 cuttings of hay. Typically in Michigan we get 3. Usually one right at the end of May or start of June. Then another one in August, and then one late in September. Hey! Okay, so I guess that's where it was supposed to be. I lined up on the wrong line. I'm not actually doing headlands, I'm just doing up and downs all the way across. The steering assist helps with that. And yeah, while tractors like this wouldn't have came with steering assist in when they were originally built, several companies do have steering assists that can be retrofitted to them, so I'm not really concerned about this being unrealistic. There's, forgot the name of the company, but one of them, quite literally claims that they can use their steering assist on any tractor that has a steering wheel, no matter how old. So I think it might struggle with some of the really old stuff that has purely mechanical steering with no hydraulics. But I get their point. But that also means stuff like some of the older crawler tractors, which have steering sticks instead of steering wheels, it probably won't work with. But who knows, they might have a different version for tractors that with steering sticks. Since I accidentally unhooked my attachment, I erased all my lines. Yeah, other than it's so slow, with the top speed 18 miles per hour, this tractor I think is perfectly suited to this size of farm. Now my real life farm, Thundertrap Permaculture, my tractor is nowhere near this big. I have a Ford 9N, which is like 1/8 of this tractor. So this is 150 horsepower, and the 9N, when it was new, was 23 horsepower. Now being nearly 100 years old, it probably has more like 19 or 20 horsepower instead. It was supposedly restored before I bought it, but I don't know if it was a true tear down and rebuild restore, or if it was a Craigslist spray can restore, where they just repainted it to make it look nice. I highly suspect it was the repaint to look nice type of restore. Since there's no reman tags on the engine, there is one on the transmission, but there's no reman tags on the engine. Of course, if someone did it by themselves in their own shop, there wouldn't be a reman tag. I'm also going to need a tanker that can haul milk. My water tanker is not food safe. I have a mod which adds a cheap wooden tanker that's supposedly food safe, but when I tested it, the mod just doesn't work. Um, Got a cough again. Overall, I kind of like how this is turning out. Oh, and another thing, by year 2, January, I need to have a house built. Because while I'm perfectly happy to live in my semi, part of this is that I'm assumed to have gotten married in year 2, and I doubt my wife is happy to live in my semi with me. Alright. Let me go check on the tractor running. Okay. Might eventually narrow these paths a little bit. So they really only need to be as wide as the tractor. Alright, shut the tractor off while I do some job hunting here. Actually, there's a couple things I want to check on too. Alright, sale? Yeah, it's pretty good. This trailer would be awesome, but I'm not ready for it, so I need a mower. So what do we have for a mower? Got this one for $13.50. Ah, here we go. A sickle mower, 5,000. So that's probably the one I'm going to get. I'm going to need a tedder. Alright, 6,500 total. And then I'm going to need either a baler or a forage wagon. So, looks like cheapest forage wagon is 30,500. Let's check balers. 60. Yeah, 60 for a round. Or 22 for the little bales. These are small enough to be picked up by hand, so there is some value to that. Alright, now let's find a job to do. Deadwood. Weeding. How big is... Okay, that's... Farmland 11. That's nice and close. It'll take me a little while with my weeder. There's Farmland 18. So that's 14 acres. This is 23 acres. So let's try with the smaller one first. All right, so we'll see how long this takes with the smaller field, and if it works good with the smaller field, I'll go ahead and do the bigger field as well. Yep, this is the one I want. Yay, my lines popped right up for me. Alright, I'll do a time skip and I'll be back when this field is done. Well, I'm back. I think I'm back anyway. But the weeder is not working. Yeah, it's just... this is a frustrating bug. It happens sometimes. So I'm going to have to. Well, it says I've done 1% here, but it says 0%. Well, I should be way more than 1% after. I'll give it another pass here to check. Hello? Hello? What's up? Alright, got you. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright, love you too. Bye. Okay. Things have just not been going well for me for this episode. I've messed up my pausing and unpausing of the recording. My microphone was muted. I don't know how long. I took a weeding contract, but by the time, between the time that the contract was issued and the time I got there, the weeds had gone from small to medium stage, so I wasn't able to actually complete the contract. And I just weeded my sorghum field. Let's check, see if there's any other contracts available now that it's raining. Farmland 14. Noah. Okay, so this is a brand new contract. I don't have a plow. I don't have a hoe. Don't have any way to do fertilizing other than slurry. So I am going to try to do this weeding contract on field 14. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. All right. So now where is field 14 from where I'm at? It is right over there. Good. Now, it would be nice to have a tractor with a cab in weather like this. I believe this is 14. No, it's not. It's still 13. It's always a good idea to check. Here we go, field 14. Alright, got my lines. Let's see if this is gonna actually work this time. I see some weeds being pulled, that's for sure. It doesn't look like it's working. Yeah, see, I'm seeing weeds being left behind. Alright. So, no, weeding contracts just aren't worth trying to do, apparently. It's off. Fail again. Alright. Sowing. What do you want sowed? Do you want red beet? I can't sow red beet. This is generally why I just buy a hoe to begin with. Because you can use a hoe on the weeding contract and on hoeing contracts. But this time to save money, I just bought a weeder instead. Yeah, since I disturbed this pallet of eggs, it's not going to fill up properly, so I'm going to go ahead and just throw these in a sell point so I can start a new pallet, and I'll have to be careful not to bump it. Yay, $83. That's a damn good price for that many eggs. Alright. It says I can use slurry on these. How big? That's 18 acres. But with how little money I have, I'm not sure I even have enough money to pay for slurry. But I'm going to till in this oilseed radish and then replant it to alfalfa, and then I should be able to get a cutting of alfalfa off of here before I have to till it in and plant barley. I'll be back when the tilling is done. Okay, the cultivating is done. Still raining. Let's check, see if there's any more contracts available. Pulling, there's another weeding contract, but I've tried 2 of those and they've failed, so I don't feel like going for 3. Yeah, anything, any plow I could afford to buy would take forever to do a 20-acre field. Ooh, got a pallet of lettuce over there. And since I've got all the lettuce I'm gonna need for the year, let's get that sold and get some money. Money, money, money. Let's see how much a pallet of lettuce is worth. I'm sure this isn't the best time, but I'm so desperate for money right now that I just sell it. Oh, nice. $2,000. So that makes a difference. So I need 5,000 for the sickle bar, and then 1,500 for the header. And that'll let me get my grass field cut and made into hay. No, I don't need this attachment. What am I doing? I need the planter. Or the grain drill, I should say. Alright, I'm going to plant alfalfa. Because I can harvest the alfalfa with the same tools as my grass. And it'll be ready to harvest probably before I need to put in the barley. Lower the cedar. And away we go. I will be back when I'm done planting this alfalfa. Okay, so I got alfalfa planted in this field now. Let's do a quick inspection of the field. Nitrogen's perfect. pH is okay. No weeds. It does need rolling. Alright. Rain's finally coming to an end. Let's check contracts again. Deadwood fertilizing. Alright, no, nothing there yet. Go ahead and get this alfalfa field rolled. Alright, and I'll check back once the rolling's done. Alright, just about done with the rolling here. And we're done. Actually, there's just a little bit down here at the far corner. Yep, right there. Now we're done with the rolling. Okay, I'm being called again. Be right back. Okay, I swear people just know when I'm recording a video and call me. It doesn't matter if it's 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. I just had 2 phone calls back to back, and that's 6 phone calls just recording this one episode. I don't understand why people want to talk to me so much. Alright, so let's check our contracts again. Hoeing, fertilizing. Actually, I got some more money now. Where is field 17? So, if it was down here near to where I would be getting, so 17, 25, and 41. Yeah, none of those fields are near the animal dealer where I need to go to get my slurry. So I'm not going to bother trying to do those. Alright. Let's go ahead and get the beehive set up. First, I am going to need a spawn point for the pallet. Now we'll put that. Needs to be where I can get at it easily. It's right there won't work. And now for the hives themselves. We'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Alright. That should cover me for honey. Oh, another thing I was forgetting that I'm going to need for the grass and the alfalfas, I'm going to need a windrower. This one will work. It's about 4 o'clock. I don't think any of those trees are on my property. Otherwise, I could try cutting a couple trees and the firewood and hauling them off. Lodgepole pine, huh? Well, let's give it a try. No, I can't. Maybe tomorrow. But right now, I need to save some money to make sure I don't go into debt overnight. Is this light enough I can pick it up yet? No. Rock removal. Wonder how much a hoe is. Spaders, seeders, planters, sprayers. Ah, here we go. So that one is 36,000 with a nice spread to it. That one's 95. That's just a weeder. That's a weeder with a planter, weeder, weeder. It's 36,000 for a hoe. Alright, some more full-grown chickens. How much water? Yeah. I'll do a couple rounds of water. Fortunately, all the lettuce I produce tomorrow can be just sold, so that should actually be a fair bit of money. Alright, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching.